Coming up now on UK Student News Network, live at 4.
I'll tell you, what an extraordinary
to another. You're breaking the law.
CNN's Town Hall series continues tonight with Trump. But what did Kasich say last night?
How one Lexington woman has dedicated her life to advocating for those who can't advocate for themselves.
In sports, one UK athlete given a second chance, and she's making the most of it.
UK Student News Network, live at 4, starts now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Marcanic.
And I'm Elizabeth Gabbert. Our top story, the showdown in Frankfurt. The budget deadline has been moved, and a lawsuit among Kentucky leaders leads at our look at legislative news. Lawmakers are rushing to complete the state budget by Friday. House and Senate leaders agreed to postpone the deadline that was originally set for today. Also at the Capitol, Attorney General Andy Beshear is suing Governor Matt Bevin. Beshear says Bevin overstepped his authority when he ordered a 4.5% budget cut to state colleges and universities. The governor did that without the approval of the state legislator.
Taylor Gadberry has been following the story. Taylor, one thing we have heard much about is the impact on financial aid.
And that is a big concern for students and parents. UK's Associate Director of Financial Aid, David Prater, says student financial aid will not be affected. And that is because that money comes from the federal government's pocket rather than the state's.
And what about tuition increases? Any word on whether that will go up next year to make budget for budget cuts?
Well, you know, those cuts can have some impact on the tuition. But right now, UK says that they are not looking into raising tuition as a direct response to the budget cuts this round. And so what the school actually does, we don't really know yet. They're still working on and trying to sort out these sudden budget cuts.
All right, thank you, Taylor.
Kentucky's budget crisis is getting reaction from Hillary Clinton. Her campaign released a statement today saying she believes the $41 million cuts are, quote, short-sighted, wrong, and may in fact be illegal. Bevin believes cuts are necessary to pay down the state's pension debt.
Now let's take a broader look at what's going on in the presidential race. Town halls continue this week on CNN as the New York primary approaches. In a town hall meeting last night, presidential candidate John Kasich talked about economic growth through reduced taxes and sending government programs back to the state level.
I proposed a 100-day agenda for when I am president, and I can tell you, be rest assured, we will enact this. We will restore our economy with a fiscal plan that will balance the budget.
In other news, presidential candidate Donald Trump's children, Ivanka and Eric Trump, missed the voter registration deadline. This means the Republican frontrunner's children will not be able to vote for him next week in New York's Republican primary.
New polls show Hillary Clinton has a substantial lead in New York. She is currently ahead of Bernie Sanders by 14 points. However, Sanders leads among voters under the age of 45 by 25 points. The primary in New York is April 19th.
Even before voters go to the polls, there is some controversy, but not about the candidates.
And that controversy is about freedom to vote for ex-felons. Kentucky is trying to determine that. And Lee Mengistu joins us live in the studio with the story.
Thank you. Kentucky may have increased voter turnout by allowing online registration, but the recent dismissal of House Bill 70 in the state Senate is leaving one group in the shadows yet again.
I'm in the booth and I really didn't know how to navigate it. And people were like, would you please come on? You know, and I heard it so many times. I just opened that curtain. I said, it has taken me 13 years to vote and you will wait until I finish.
34 years ago, Tana Fogel was a star, captain of UK's women's basketball team and full of potential. A few mistakes later, she was sentenced to 10 years for forgery and drug possession. Kentucky has the 7th highest incarceration rate in the country. About a fourth of Kentuckians have a criminal record, which in this state means no right to vote. Fogel says these types of barriers are just one of the obstacles set up against returning citizens.
If the government continues to set up barriers, a person coming out of incarceration will never, ever fully be restored to their community.
It's not as if Kentucky hasn't tried. Former Governor Steve Beshear passed an executive order in late 2015 to allow certain ex-felons, about 100,000, to vote and hold public office. The order was quickly struck down by Governor Matt Bevin, who claimed it was up to the people to decide. That was the goal of the failed House Bill 70, which would allow citizens to vote in a referendum on November's election day. Tana Fogel was one of the lucky ones. After going through a bumpy process, she eventually gained a pardon in 2006 and the right to vote. For the past 11 years, she's worked to fight for voting rights for everyone, and she has no plans of stopping anytime soon.
And until God takes my last breath.
Since House Bill 70 was struck down, legislators won't be able to make another amendment until the next even-numbered year. Fogel says she plans on backing the next bill when it's proposed in 2018. Elizabeth, Emily, back to you.
Thank you. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley met with Judge Merrick Garland earlier today. About a month ago, President Obama nominated Garland to replace Supreme Court Justice seat. Grassley said the meeting was, quote, friendly, unquote, but there will be no action toward replacing the seat of former Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia.
Today is Equal Pay Day, representing the 4 extra months women must work on average to make as much as men. President Obama designated a new national monument honoring women's equality this afternoon in Washington, D.C.
This is a monument to so much, but I think it is a monument to courage. Imagine the courage of the women.
The new national monument will protect the iconic house that has served the National Woman's Party for 87 years. It is the oldest standing house near the U.S. Capitol and preserves more than 600 pieces of federal, state, and local legislation in support of equal rights.
More than 400 protesters were arrested during a sit-in on the steps of the U.S. Capitol on Monday. They are protesting against the influence of money in politics and congressional inaction to reverse it. The protesters were a part of the Democracy Spring campaign, who want to draw attention to the corrupt campaign finance system and rigged voting laws. Those taken to custody will be charged with crowding, obstructing, and incommoding. Coming up next, horses in retirement. We'll take a look at a local farm that takes care of thoroughbreds after life on the tracks. Crowded racetracks are a common scene in Kentucky this time of year.
But when racing season is all over and we all go home, what happens to the horses? Kelly Brightmer is here in studio with more. Kelly?
Thoroughbred racing is a multi-million-dollar business. Horses are bought, trained, put to work, and then they might go through that whole process all over again. But one farm in Georgetown gives thoroughbreds a chance to completely retire in peace.
Hey, Pops. Hey, baby. No, I have no carrots.
From the road, Old Friends Farm might not look like much, but to these horses, it means everything.
This is total retirement. We don't retrain them. We don't adopt them out. Once they come here, that's it.
It's a new ending and a chance at a new life.
And they deserve to be displayed, and they deserve to be worshipped by their fans, and that's exactly what's happened.
Based solely on donations, this 136-acre farm cares for over 150 thoroughbreds, including 2 Derby winners and a movie star.
It's not every day you get to meet a celebrity, but here at Old Friends Farm, you're surrounded by them.
Totally starstruck around these horses. I mean, the idea that Silver Charm is in my yard totally freaks me out. The idea that Misty Oshita and all the people at Shaddai Stallion called me up and said, would you like to have War Emblem at your farm? I'm going, this is unbelievable. Now I got 2 Derby winners.
Winners that a lot of people want to see.
When people come to Kentucky, especially people like me, when I first stepped foot in Kentucky, I just wanted to feed a horse a carrot or something, and you couldn't do it. There was not one place I could go and feed a horse a carrot.
Hard work and dedication helps Michael Blowen bring nearly 20,000 visitors to the farm each year.
It's taken a dozen years to do it, but it's been worth it and it's been a lot of fun.
Michael Blowen says he encourages all racing fans to head out to Old Friends Farm for a farm tour. All the proceeds of the tours go directly to the farm, and visitors will get a chance to see the athletes up close and personal. Emily, Elizabeth?
Clayton Abernathy is up next with sports. What you got for us?
Well, we had a big weekend from softball and baseball, and we're also going to have a story from a UK women's lacrosse player who was given a second chance at life. That and more will be coming up next in sports.
Clayton Abernathy joins us next with sports. What you got for us?
Well, we had a lot going on in baseball and softball this weekend, but we'll go right into the softball's huge weekend, finishing off the sweep of 8th-ranked LSU last night. Pitcher Kelsey Nunley threw a complete game shutout, her second of the series, to finish off LSU 2-0. Kentucky moves to 34-8 overall and sits at 11-4 in SEC play. Their next game is tomorrow against EKU at John Kropp Stadium. First pitch is at 6 p.m. And with tonight's game against EKU postponed, the Batcats are turning their focus to their matchup against Louisville tomorrow. The Cats, who are ranked 9th in the country, will throw lefty Zach Logue, while righty Cade McClure will take the mound for the 6th-ranked Cards. Kentucky is coming off their 4th straight SEC Series win, taking 2 of 3 games against Alabama over the weekend, including a walk-off grand slam by Riley Mahan on Saturday. First pitch is at 6:30 at the Cliff and can be seen on the SEC Network Plus. Sometimes sports are more than just a game. Sean Bowdy has more on one athlete's incredible journey.
Thanks, Clayton. We all know second chances are never guaranteed, but I spoke with one UK athlete who's making the most of her second chance at life.
Allison Harvey is happy and healthy. But that hasn't always been the case for this goalkeeper for the UK women's club lacrosse team. In July of 2013, Allison was rushed to UK hospital.
On the ambulance ride, I stopped breathing. When I got back to UK, they realized that my kidneys were failing.
Allison was diagnosed with hemolytic uremic syndrome, a potentially fatal condition that results in the premature destruction of red blood cells. Doctors put Allison in an induced coma for 10 days, and it took her 18 days before she could walk again.
I did it! When you're told you're a miracle and that you really shouldn't have made it, it changes how you view life. And when you have to relearn to walk again at 19, it makes you realize there are a lot bigger issues in this world.
Specifically, bigger than sports.
You kind of zoom out and you say, okay, in the grand scheme of things, does this really matter?
She's also learned about second chances.
Of all the people to get a second chance, why was it me? I probably don't deserve a second chance, but I was given it, and so now I have to think about how my actions affect myself and the people around me.
And Allison has a chance to see just how she can affect others right here at Tates Creek High School, where she's a middle school coach. She's using her second chance to make a positive impact.
My platform as a goalie for University of Kentucky has now opened this door for me to work with these young girls at Tates Creek. And to me, that's just a blessing. One of the reasons I really love being an athlete and being a lacrosse player is helping athletes realize that there is more to life than your sport, and you are more than your sport. I also hope to just encourage them to just know that, hey, even if you have a bad day or a bad game, you're still a great person.
Allison wants to continue to use her story to make a difference. It's safe to say she's off to a good start.
The final game of Allison's career was this past weekend at Ohio State. They lost, but she says she's not worried about wins or losses. Clayton, back to you.
Thanks, Sean. Now, after 18 seasons, it's time for Kobe Bryant to call it quits. One of the all-time greats will conclude his career tomorrow night at home against the Utah Jazz. The farewell tour continued last night as he played in his last away game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kobe scored 13 points all in the first quarter as the Lakers lost to the Thunder 112-79. Average price paid for tickets to tomorrow's game on StubHub, listen to this, $997. That is a regular season record for any sport. You can catch the Mambas' final game tomorrow at 10:30 on ESPN2. History could be made tomorrow night as the Warriors will go for their 73rd win of the season. That would give them the most regular season wins of all time and would surpass the 95-96 Chicago Bulls' 72 wins. The Warriors tip off against the Memphis Grizzlies at 10:30 p.m. and can be seen on ESPN. The NBA season is coming to an end, and the UK rookies have shined all season. Last night, Devin Booker, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Karl Towns all took the floor. Towns and the Timberwolves took on the Rockets last night. Towns finished with 12 points and 5 rebounds as the Wolves lost to the Rockets 129-105. With only one game left, Towns is finishing up his historic rookie season, averaging 18.2 points and 10.4 rebounds per game. Devin Booker and the Suns took on Willie Cauley-Stein and the Kings last night, both finishing off their strong rookie seasons. Booker led all scorers with 22 points, making his point total 1,036 on the season. He is the 4th youngest to score 1,000 points behind, get this, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant. Pretty good company, I'd say. Willie Cauley-Stein finished the game with 11 points and 7 rebounds as the Kings beat the Suns 105-101. So, as we end this NBA season, you guys can clearly see that these players going straight to the NBA after their freshman year are just doing really big things to help their careers.
Yeah,
very
that's
impressive.
Really impressive. Now, on to weather. It's a beautiful day outside, but you could still use a jacket. Kaquan McNeese has our weather ahead. We're back with weather from Kaquan McNeese. Now, Kaquan, it is cold outside, but it looks so beautiful. What's going on?
It is a beautiful day, but it really is chilly. You might need a jacket, no open-toe shoes, even though it's sunny, no open-toe shoes. But let's take a look at our current weather. Like we said, it is a beautiful day outside. Slightly chilly, but still gorgeous. And let's take a look at our current temperatures today. We have some low temperatures in the mid-30s, but later on in the week it's going to be 46 to 47 to 48 on Saturday. So gorgeous, gorgeous weather on the rest of the week.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm ready for
right?
that warm sunshine.
Right.
Coming up next, an opportunity that might take some seniors' focus away from other activities this summer.
Start.
A chance for Fayette County seniors to possibly stray away from bingo and participate in an annual summer internship in Lexington to learn more about governmental services.
The City of Lexington is inviting Fayette County seniors to enroll in their annual summer internship program. Molly Hupp has more. Molly?
Yes, this internship includes field trips to different government locations, including corrections, fire and emergency services, and Division of Police. The program is offering seniors the opportunity to talk with key decision makers in city government. They can also participate in class activities and visit several government facilities. The week-long internship is free of charge, and it runs from June 6th to June 10th, although space is limited to the first 45 eligible people who apply.
For seniors who may be interested in applying, contact Christy Stombach at 859-278-6072. Well, that's all we got for you tonight. Thanks for joining us at UKU Student News Network Live at 4. Have a good night.